Hey guys, Shane here. Um, Doing this quick video. I hope this isn't annoying that I'm doing them live. I just find it simpler for me to set up. But anyway, this is my video for my most carried knives of 2022. Anybody that's close to me knows me well knows that number one is probably going to be um, my American Blade Works Model 1 version 6. And I want to tell you why this is my favorite knife that I own right now. Mr. Michael Martin, that owns American Blade Works and makes these knives. Um, he's an incredible guy. He's a super nice dude. So I was really fortunate to be able to purchase a knife from you know, just a man who's running a family business. It's him and his wife. She actually had a full-time job. I believe last time I spoke to him, she was about to step away from that in order to be able to help him more because he has bought more CNC machines so that he can produce more knives. I know everybody's top complaint about this thing is that it's almost always sold out. But I got fortunate enough. I think I bought the last one of two that was left on the table at Blade Show, and somebody kind of called me out recently about not spilling the beans on this knife. So I want to take this opportunity to spill the beans because it's actually a great story. I purchased this knife. Just so that you know, guys, this is a 100% American-made pocket knife from American products. It's nothing any more patriotic than this thing. It's all U.S. made from U.S. Materials, and it's $200. So no, it's not an outlandish price for a quality American-made product. I think the price is more than fair. I'll get into the story, then I'll get into some specs right quick. I purchased this knife. Mr. Brian at Transparent Knives, when I told him that I bought one, had expressed that he'd love to check one out. So I sent it to him. And I said, hey, man, while you got it, if you want to, you can HRC test it because he has an HRC tester. And he did. And Brian got back to me the same day he received the knife in the mail. And he was like, hey, man, just want to let you know I'm a big fan of this thing, but there is a huge problem. I don't know how to add photographs during video and all that stuff. He sent me a picture of the HRC test, and it was 52. Any of you guys that know anything about HRC knows that that's horrible. So I got in touch with Mr. Martin. He was super apologetic. He wasn't sure what happened, if it was a issue with his thermocoupler or what it was. Anyway, he told me, don't fret, I will take care of it. And myself, like many of you guys, I own lots of pocket knives, so there was no rush. I didn't have to have it for work. I wasn't going to be in trouble without it. So I gave him some time. He did a lot of testing. And to be honest, from what I gathered from our conversations, what he came up with was just a lot of inconsistent results. Same steel, same heat treat process, different results. Now, I'm not going to come out and say that, Crucible's 20 CV, that there are differences in it. It is powder metallurgy. At some point in time, there is a human being measuring, the amounts of the powdered materials that go into it. All I know is that he kept getting inconsistent results, and he didn't want to send me a blade that wasn't top notch. So he purchased a MagnaCut, and he began to do some research on, I guess you'd say, the amount of time he was spending heat treating his own blades. And oh, by the way, hey Brandon, hey Randy, Carco, glad you guys could join me today. But anyway, he did some research, and he realized that the amount of time he was spending heat treating his own blades, when you subtract that from the amount of time that he could be spending making blades and shipping them to Peters to have them heat treated, he was actually losing money doing it himself. So anyway, he purchased this MagnaCut, and he proceeded to send it to Peters to have it heat treated. Dark Gravity, how you doing, buddy? And yeah, the final product he sent to me, or actually he sent to Brian, because Brian had my knife disassembled in his shop for several weeks, waiting on a blade. So Brian got the blade. Actually, when Michael contacted me, he's like, "Hey, I can ship this thing out in a couple of days, or I can ship it out today, but I haven't had a chance to sharpen it." So keep in mind, this thing it wouldn't cut anything. There was no edge on it at all whatsoever. And I said, "Hey, that's awesome, man. That's a great opportunity for me, I believe. So just ship it like it is. I'll put the final cutting edge on it." So he shipped it to Brian. Brian immediately contacted me. He's like, "Hey, man, this thing's dull." And I was like, "Of course, that's the way I asked for it." So Brian HRC tested this blade, 63.8, 63.8 HRC Magna-Cut. I wish I had been a little more scientific in my sharpening, but I sat down with an Atoma 140 and Veneve 400 and the other side was 1100. So I went 140, 400, 1100. And I was doing this while watching a live stream. Brand new American, good morning, buddy. I was doing this while watching a live stream, so I was stopping to comment. But I know after about an hour into the live stream, I was done. So that tells you, with zero edge bevel, it took me less than an hour to put a 15-degree edge on this. Now, guys, I want you to pay attention to this. That tiny little bevel you see right there is 15 degrees. The reason for that is because Brian also measured this thing behind the edge at 6 thousandths. This is the sliciest knife I've ever experienced. It's the sliciest knife I own. I don't know that you can do any better than this without making it so thin that it just breaks. And I absolutely love it. And I don't know if you guys can see, but this thing is, I don't know why my camera won't pick that up. It is step milled. So what that tells you is that not only does this knife have a superior heat treat, a superior behind the edge thickness, but this knife, after heat treat and after temper, never has any heat applied to it. It is put into a CNC, this blade is put into a CNC mill under coolant and milled to remove stock instead of grinding it. And I've made a couple of horrible fixed blades in the last few years. And if any of you guys have ever done that, or any of you guys have ever worked with metal, when you grind metal, you create a lot of heat. And that's why, we're constantly hearing about the whole burnt edges thing. No chance of that ever on an American Blade Works, because there's never any heat applied to it. Now, Mr. Dark Gravity, he's a machinist. He probably knows better than I do. Even with the coolant, I'm sure there's some temperature rise, within fractions of a second, before the I don't know. So I don't want to get scientific about that, but I know it's never ground. And in my mind, that makes this one of the most superior pocket knives money could buy. And at $200, it is a steal. I've stayed in communication with Mr. Martin. He was hoping to release the Model 2, which is the same size knife, but a Warncliffe, before Christmas. However, he has purchased some new CNC machines that were intended to produce the Model 2, and something about some bearing screws, something. I'm not a machinist. I don't know, but there was an issue with the CNC, so he's had to do some repairs on it. So it delayed the Model 2 from coming out in mass production. I do know that he has tripled his production capabilities by purchasing new CNC machines. Guys, that's as American as it gets, man. This guy worked for somebody as a machinist for, I'm sure I'm going to quote this wrong, but I think he told me 28 years, and decided to go into business for himself. He spent the money. He bought the equipment. He put in the time. He did 5 versions of this knife before he settled on what he was happy with. Morning, Honey Bear. How you doing, buddy? And in my opinion, he landed on perfection. I have heard Jared Neves say that he's experienced some pivot lash on a couple of them he's checked out. Guys, I'm not saying he has it, but there is no pivot lash at all whatsoever in this knife. So I don't know if it's something that he's fixed, if those are older models. I don't know. But yeah, that's my favorite knife of the year so far, by far. I've got a couple of others that spent a lot of time in pocket, so I want to cover those. And one of them is right here. You guys will hear me say that this is the GOAT. This is the greatest of all time EDC knife. And man, I just flat. Apparently, I can't spotty flip today, so I'm just going to open it. That's the Spyderco Manix 2. This knife, this particular Manix 2, as you can see, it is used. I do use it. It doesn't stay wiped down and oiled in a box somewhere. Carry this knife all the time. Use it all the time. Give you a quick backstory on this knife. I traded for this thing a couple of years ago and had zero interest in it. I don't know why. I had zero interest in carrying this knife. I just didn't care for it. There was no reason. There was no negatives. I had other stuff I was more interested in, to be honest. And I ended up trading back for this knife from a good buddy of mine, Mr. Lee, a Bama Knife Guy. I got the knife back from him. And anyway, when I got this knife back, yeah, let me put that up there because that's very important. I appreciate that, Dark Gravity. I appreciate that very much. I had a Spyderco Shaman M4 blade coated with some sharp dress knives, micarta scales. It was my grail knife. I absolutely loved it. Let me preface this by saying I still love that knife. It is an awesome, awesome choice for an EDC knife. However, I don't own it anymore. And I'm going to tell you why. Some of it was financial. I did sell the knife for there was a small percentage that was financial reasons. But in all honesty, this won out almost every day. And I can't explain why. I don't know why. I like the lock mechanism on the Shaman better. I like large knives, so it should have been. This thing just went out. This is Spyderco's 20CV. I think this was a Knife Joy. I'm not positive which exclusive it was, but guys, you guys see me in the comments all the time. I don't badmouth 20CV. I just like to inform people that the majority of 20CV out there is no better than S35V because it's not heat treated to its optimal HRC. Spyderco's, however, is an exception. It is exceptional. If you look at Mr. Gerald over at Outpost 76 and his cut charts, Spyderco's 20CV and M390 literally smoke almost everything else on the market. There may be an exception to that. I don't remember it. I don't remember seeing it. But this thing holds an edge forever. It's got good geometry. It doesn't have super high-end performance, the geometry that this thing does, but it does have great geometry. And that's why I think this is the GOAT EDC knife of all time, because it has a super strong lock mechanism. For me, it's not super fidgety. And that's because of the neuropathy in my hands. I can't secure this knife well enough to, let's see if I can pull it off, to engage the, yeah, I can't do it. I'm going to hurt myself. I can't pull the lock back and let the blade drop. I just can't do it. Lots of people can, but I can't. So yeah, absolutely love this thing. This was, probably my. I'll be honest. This and the Shaman probably tied for second place as far as pocket time. But I don't have the Shaman anymore, so I can't do a video on it. Do I regret selling the Shaman? No, I don't. I absolutely loved it, but it's in a great place now. The guy that's got it's in love with it, and I love the fact that somebody's purchased something that they absolutely love. And I'm kind of glad Dark Gravity's in here actually, because I was there was a huge toss up And if I had recorded it, I may even be incorrect in what my number 3 for most carried is, because a little over a year ago, I traded Dark Gravity a Protec SNG for a Benchmade Contigo. The Contigo had been a grail of mine within weeks of getting interested in knives. So I had the SNG, and but I'd owned it, I'd carried it, I had experienced it, and I hadn't a Contigo, so we traded. I can't swear that the Contigo had any more or less time than this knife did, but this knife has a lot of sentimental value to me, and that is the Protec TR4 Auto. I love it because it's big. I had it custom engraved with Veritas Equitas on one side and the Boondock Saints cross on the other. I love this thing. It's not the best knife I own. It's in CPM D2. A lot of people say, I wish I had a better blade steel. I don't care. I don't know what Protec heat treats their CPM D2. It's held an edge great for me. In all honesty, I don't do a whole lot of cutting with it, but it stays sharp plenty long enough for what I need it for. This to me is a self-defense knife. In a self-defense knife, I don't care how long it stays sharp. If I ever had to use this thing for what I purchased it for and what its intention is, I'm probably never going to see it again, in all honesty. Police probably going to take it, probably going to be evidence, whatever. So yeah, I don't care about the blade steel. The reason why this knife has such a warm place in my heart is because I had owned a TR4 Auto previously. It was actually a more rare TR4 Auto. It was in the cappuccino, I think it was called, finish. It was like this dark, almost a little bit of a dirty brown color. It was beautiful. And it came with a carrying case where this one didn't. Anyway, I loved that knife, but my neuropathy had progressed to a point where I didn't trust myself to use it. I didn't feel like I could keep a good enough purchase on the knife. And I was scared I was going to hurt myself or somebody just opening it. So I got rid of it. When I got into Spyderco's, it drove me insane that I couldn't spotty flick. Apparently I can't spotty flick today either. But anyway, I practiced and practiced and practiced, and through all that practice, I guess I rehabilitated my hands some, and I got to where I could spotty flick, very consistently. And I mentioned on a live, not to any particular person, I just mentioned on a live that now I felt like I could safely operate another Protec Auto, because guys, these things fire like a firearm. I mean, the recoil of this thing is jolting. They fire super hard. And I just mentioned that, that I had some regrets that I'd gotten rid of it, because I felt like now I could have one. A week later, this showed up in my mailbox. Mr. Jake, Jack Slung's, the most lovable asshole I've ever met. He spent, from what I can tell, looking it up, about $270, purchased this knife, and sent it to me. I'm not going to deny that I might have shed a tear over that. So yeah, this knife gets a lot of pocket time, purely out of sentimental value, and it just makes me feel safe. Yes, I do conceal carry a firearm, but there are situations that call for different tools, and this is just another tool. So I enjoy having it on me. It does give me some confidence when I carry it. So, it ended up number 3, possibly tied with my Contigo, because it kind of evokes the same feeling when I carry it. It is a tactical folder. I'll just go ahead and get it and show it to you guys. Dark Gravity will know it because he owned it. But give me 1 second. I guess it would be fair that, since there may be a tie there, that I show it too. But morning, Brant. How you doing, buddy? But that is my Benchmade Contigo. I think this is the perfect tactical hard use folder. Benchmade found an absolute perfect balance in this thing between having a fairly robust blade steel and somehow making it super slicey. There are a lot of custom makers out there selling $600 knives that could learn a lot from this. You can make a very strong knife and make it cut very, very well. Um, it's it just works. Somehow they got the right recipe. They made it work. This thing's an M4 blade steel. Absolutely love this knife. So I'm kind of looking forward to next year to see, what makes the list and what don't. Um, all my knives get carried some, but just like everybody, you have knives that get carried more than others, and you know, so those were my top three / possibly five, if you consider the ties mixed in there. And yeah, I absolutely love these things. I do want to show you one reason why I think the Mannix wins for greatest of all time EDC knife, because a lot of people will say, especially Spyderco fans, will say it's the PM2. If you look at the blade profiles of these knives, guys, the cutting edge itself is nearly identical. The amount of belly, it's measurable, but who cares? So as far as the part that actually works, it doesn't matter. This is why I like the Mannix better. It has a slight ramp that my thumb lands on. However, because of the size of my hands, it doesn't land where I think Spyderco intended it, which would be back here. That cramps my thumb. It lands more forward, so I'm on that point. However, the Mannix point is so mild, it doesn't bother me. Whereas with the PM2, especially if I'm choked back, it's fine. But if I use the choil, it puts me in a very awkward spot here that I don't really enjoy. If I have to make a cut and put it away, I don't even think about it. If I have to make several cuts, I do. That's not super comfortable to me. So that's why the Mannix 2, in my opinion, is the GOAT. It's the greatest of all time EDC knife. The only reason why I haven't replaced that title with the ABW is because as of right now, they're still kind of hard to get. I don't want to put that title on something that people can't readily purchase. Hopefully that does improve this year. So yeah, maybe it will surpass the Mannix. I have no doubt it'll surpass the Mannix in my opinion. It's just a matter of time. The Mannix has been around for a long time. It's proven. Maybe the American Blade Works hasn't been around long enough to completely prove itself yet. And like I said, they can be a little difficult to get. Now, guys, I told you the story about the heat treat issue. Keep in mind, there are American Blade Works Model 1 version 6s out there right now that you can purchase. And they are in 20 CV like mine was when I bought it. However, he's not heat treating his 20 CV anymore either. Peters is heat treating it at 61 to 62, which is a fine working heat treat for 20 CV. It's not, it's not cutting edge, pushing the boundaries by any means, but it is a good steel, and at $200, it's worth every penny of that. So, don't be afraid to buy one in 20 CV. At that point in time, he was putting out batches of knives 6 at a time, so he had a bad batch. However, he took care of it. Exceeded my expectations. I went from 20 CV at 61 HRC is what I was expecting to Magna Cut at almost 64. So can't beat that. That's one thing that a lot of people will tell you that Spyderco kind of drops the ball on is their warranty service. I've never experienced it, so I don't know. Keep in mind when you hear people's stories, there's two sides to that. If you weren't there, we don't know. It may very well be garbage. I couldn't tell you. Morning, Bobo Shoggins and Mr. Aberdeen Blades. Great to see you guys. Like I said, this may end up being a little bit aggravating for viewers sometime because I'm going to go live a lot. I may replace recording videos because I don't edit anyway, with just going live and doing them. And I apologize if that upsets you guys that I jump on for 15, 20 minutes at a time to do a video. I don't know why, I just feel more comfortable doing it this way. Um, when I'm recording, I actually stumble over my words and screw up more than I do when I go live. It just feels more fluid and natural to me. So yeah, I'm not going to be on here long, but yeah. So anyway, guys, that was my top 3 carry knives of the year. Number one's my American Blade Works Model 1 version 6, even though I didn't have it the full year, but once I got it, it just never comes out of pocket. Number 2 is going to be my Manix 2 in 20 CV with a possible tie with my M4 Shaman that I no longer have. And number 3 is a possible tie between the ProTech TR4 Auto and the Benchmade Contigo. If you ask me, of all these knives, if I had to sell them to feed my kids, what's the last one I'm going to get rid of? Even though it's not the best knife out of the choices, the last knife I'll ever get rid of is this Benchmade Contigo. I absolutely love it. It's an ergonomic nightmare. The shape ergonomically is great. The jimping is overdone. I understand it's a, possible combat, whatever. Probably should be wearing gloves. Not the most comfortable knife to use for long periods of time. But damn, this is just a sexy, mean looking design, and I love it. So yeah, guys, that's what I got for you guys today. Anyway, I'll hang out for a couple of more minutes, and you guys got any questions? I'd love to see in the comments. Absolutely love to see what you guys most carried knife of the year is. Brand, I already know what brand yours is going to be. I don't know which one it is. I'm sure it's going to be one of your Hinders. That may even be the same for Mr. Dark Gravity. I know he's a big Hinder fan too. And so yeah, if you guys don't mind, man, throw it in the chat. What just off the top of your head, what do you think your most carried knife of the year is? I'd love to hear it and get that conversation started, because there may be something out there that I'm missing out on. My grill list has kind of changed. I had a few that I was just dead set that I was going to own. I'd really love to own a Spartan Harsey, but to be honest, guys, I don't. Even though I, once again, I absolutely love this knife, I cannot flick a thumb stud. So I'm not a huge thumb stud fan. So I can't see spending, $600 on a custom engraved Spartan Harsey like I want, when I probably won't carry it, because I'm not going to enjoy opening it. And to be honest, a knife that expensive, it's no different than my Sabenza lead here. This thing has a lot of sentimental value as well. I wear it for dress occasions, but I don't carry it a whole lot because I just don't like using fancy knives. I know it doesn't make any sense. Let's see. So we got Katie Garage Ganzo Firebird, but some guy's going to sharpen it for me. Hey man, I started out on Ganzo Firebirds. I don't understand any reason why to pay $60 for a budget knife when you can buy a Ganzo for $25, just as good as most of the Kaisers or Civivis that are coming out nowadays. They make a great budget knife. Let's see. Bobo Shotgun is probably my Cold Steel Voyager, about 26 years old. That's an awesome knife, man. I just recently got a Cold Steel 4-match Scout that's starting to see some pocket time. It is a little big. I love it because it's big, but not the most convenient carry, but still a great knife. There we go. Yeah, that's a surprise. Dark Gravity said his most carried knife is PM2 with frag titanium scales. I didn't expect that, so that's awesome, man. Sniper Blade Works LPC for Carco. I apologize, I don't know what that is. I'm sure it's probably cool. I'd love to see it. Mr. Cole from Tri-State EDC's in here. That's awesome, man. It's great to see you. Doomsday has shown up. That's awesome. I don't know if you guys were in here when I said it, but I'm kind of doing my top 3 carried knives of the year. So if you would throw up in the comments what your most carried knife of the year was. Tri-State, I know it's going to be hard for you. I know you got something new in the pockets pretty regularly. Doomsday, I wouldn't have a clue what yours would be, so I'd love to know. If I missed any of the answers to this, I apologize. I'm trying to keep up. Um, Brandon Maples, Case Trapper, Mini RSK, Doug Ritter, Large, and a Sabenza 31. Man, those are three classics, Brandon. That's a nice selection right there, man. I love my RSK. I've never really been into Case the slip joints, but I get it. My brother's a big slip joint guy. Carries one, uses it all day, every day. Cannot get him to switch to a modern folder, but hey, man, you do you, whatever you love, man. Um, let's see. Katie Garage said the guy's going to shorten it for him. Has two Boondock Saints posters. These things have a lot. I'm probably too old to have posters on my wall, but those things have a lot of sentimental value because I got them at Blockbuster when it was open, and me and my wife were in Blockbuster every single night the first 5 years we were married. It was part of our lives, so that was pretty good. Doomday Scout said he carries the fat PP. That's hilarious. Spyderco Bug or Grasshopper and a Sheepdog XL. Now you want to talk about a range of knives. So you've got a knife that's 2 inches long and 1.5 inches thick. You've got a Spyderco that you could wear on a necklace, and then a Sheepdog XL. I had a Sheepdog XL. I loved it. Love the sound that it makes when you flick it hard. That's a really cool knife. So Dark Gratis and the PM2 is nearly constant carry. Everything else is secondary. To just enjoy the PM2 is my workhorse. Hey, I got that, man. It's a great work knife, no doubt about it. These would be the three in the pocket the most. I got you. Tri-State, Rockwall, something from EMP EDC, of course, and a slip joint. Does that count on top? Absolutely, man. I know that's asking you that. It's almost like asking Jerry Neve that, or asking Jerry Neve what his favorite knife is. It's really hard to nail down because, like I said, I know you. You like to carry a knife and use it some before you make a video on it, and I actually appreciate that. I know guys jump to try to be the first to put a review out. I know there's some guys in the community that are just flat out full of shit. They get a knife, take it out of the box, make a video on it. I don't care for that type of content. I don't care for that type of dishonesty. So I appreciate that you do carry it for a little while and make us wait for the review. Good on you, Cole. But I understand especially this past year, man. You've been flooded with a lot of new stuff. So great for you. I'm proud of you on that. That people are sending you stuff to check out. And let's see, Mr. Randy Pendleton. This is going to be a good one. Metro Knife and Tool Praetorian Slim Flipper. Metro Knife and Tool Praetorian full size tie. Oh, full size T, not tie. I'm sorry. Delica, Dragonfly, and a 940-2. Guys, Randy is not as big in the YouTube community as some folks are. I see him around here and there. I actually met Randy in the Facebook knife world. He's a great guy. Randy sent me my first Dragonfly in 20 CV. It's laying over there. Kind of unfair that it's not in this video because this is mostly primary carry. That knife's on me. Well, to be honest, it probably has the most pocket time because it's always my secondary. It's always in my fifth pocket. Love that thing, man. It's in 20 CV as well. Holds a great edge for a long, long time. And it's so thin and so slicey. It's just effortless. When that edge comes in contact with something, whatever that is now in two pieces. It's just that easy. It is a tiny knife, but I've learned to appreciate that just because of the control you have over it and how thin the blade stock is. It cuts great. Mark Herrera, great to see you, man. Michael Morgan, awesome to see you in here, bud. Doomday Scout says, my YouTube launch has been held up by my health issues, but I have other member-only sites I review on. I want to do a review till I abuse the crap out of anything. Hey, that's awesome, man. We need that kind of honesty in the community. Mark Herrera says, Manly Peak S90V. I knew that was coming. Tucson TS221 slip joint. That's a cool little slip joint. I like that thing. Manly's S90V, guys, may be the only thing out there that competes with Spyderco's. They run a great heat treat, and that thing is paper thin. I wouldn't stab it into the sidewall of a tire by any means, but my God, you could cut for days with that thing. the Spyderco full flat, and you're right, Randy. It's a super slicey grind. I mean, it's very impressive. You can almost get that same geometry out of the Delica, I believe, and it's a little bigger. I got to experience one of those. That's really cool. No, Tri-State, I didn't get a 15V Mannix yet. I've had a lot of people ask me that. It's been a little heartbreaking. I just didn't have the money to buy it. I tried to sell my Adamas, and then the more I thought about it, man, I've got one Adamas. I own two Mannixes, both in great steels with great heat treat. So I didn't need it. So I held up. Some of that's about to change, guys. I apologize for my sobbing 15-minute live a couple of days ago. I've considered taking it down, but kind of spilled my guts to you guys about what's been going on in my life. I'm ashamed of it. I haven't worked in a year and a half. I finally got my disability. Guys, I've literally been laying in the bed, wasting away for a year. It's not good for my physical health. I can literally feel my biological makeup changing because I'm dying, because of the lifestyle that I'm living now. And it's been extremely harmful to my mental health. I contacted SSA to find out the rules. Apparently, the state of Alabama, once you're approved for SSA, if you do go back to work, you have 36 months, 3 years. If you lose your job within that 3 years, your SSA just starts back. So I am about to stop my disability. I am limited physically in what I can do. However, I have found a job. I had a job offer. I don't want to say 100% it's mine. 99% of the job is mine. And it's something that I can do. I think it'll be great for my physical health, my mental health. And it is about 4 times more money than I've ever made in my life. It is an awesome opportunity. So hopefully the next time somebody asks me that question, Tri-State, I won't have to say no, I couldn't afford it. So really looking forward to that. It can be life-changing for me. It's got me really motivated. That's why I'm up early. I'm trying to stop laying in bed, sleeping all day. So I've been up early the past couple of days, tried to stay on the move, trying to improve my life. I remember Cole had mentioned at one point in time that he didn't have any doubt that I'd hit 500 subs by June, because I started my channel on January 1st. And I did. And I hadn't forgot, Cole, you owe me a microphone. You told me you'd buy me a microphone if I hit 500 by June. But I'm kidding. I don't need a microphone. Guys, there's no reason why I shouldn't bid 1,000 already. None. Zero reason. I literally was looking the other day, looked back, and the last video I had posted was a short that got 11,000 views and earned me 30 subs that day. And then I didn't post for 2 weeks. There's no excuse for that. I love doing this. However, my mental state just kept me, it just kept me putting things off. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later today. And I just didn't do it. So yeah, that's completely my fault that I'm not at 1,000 already. Just pure laziness and, letting some chemical imbalance or whatever they diagnose it as get the best of me. And, so I'm going to fix that. And, the reason why I'm talking about it publicly, it's very embarrassing for me, but I want to talk about it publicly as much as I possibly can, because a month from now, I want guys asking, hey, Shane, how's the new job? How's your mental health? How are you doing? I don't want to be able to, I didn't want to just tell myself I was going to do it and make it easy for me to back up. I don't need that. I've got life to live. I'm not going to live to be an old man. I know that, but I kind of settled on the fact that I can die at work just like I can die laying in that bed, and I'd rather die at work. So yeah, and it is hard to enjoy life. I've got grandsons. The one thing I want to do before I pass away, I want to take my oldest grandson to the Pacific Northwest. I want to stop off at Yosemite. I want him to see that there's more to life than Hicktown, Alabama. And I was never going to be able to do that. So that's my motivation in this and I'll definitely make enough money to be able to afford to do that with this job. So as soon as I get some vacation, I want to do that. And in all honesty, I can actually do this job from the road as well. I'll be able to work from home 95% of the time. However, I'm going to choose not to. I don't trust myself to not have accountability and supervision. So anyway, yeah. What's this say? I'll see if I can get you a tri-state bump on the Christmas live. Man, that's awesome, Cole. I plan on doing a lot of paying forward the next two lives. That's great. You've already done that once for me, and it was hugely successful. See, I still would like to hit 1,000 by January 1st. I'd like to be able to say I hit 1,000 in a year. Now, I'm not going to be able to monetize by January 1st. I'm a little over halfway on my view hours. Once again, 100% my fault. Content's not out there to view. People aren't going to view it, you know. And I did kind of get lazy on settling for the shorts because they got so many views. However, 10,000 views on a 7-second short, it don't do much to your view hours. And I understand that. I understand that's why, Cole doesn't like doing shorts. I like doing shorts for the instant gratification. I can put up a video, 30 minutes later, look, damn, I got 5,000 views. It just made me feel good. It was a dopamine rush, and in my mental health state, it was good for me. However, it was very temporary. So maybe it wasn't good for me. I don't know. Good morning, Javon. Good to see you in here, buddy. Like I said, I didn't plan on making this a normal live stream. Maybe this is a bad idea that I'm going to, just start doing all my videos as lives. I don't know. Like I said, I apologize if it annoys you guys that they don't last that long, but I'm just way more comfortable doing this, to be honest. I don't know why. When I set my camera up, get it pointed down, and try to make a video, I lose motivation. I sometimes don't know what to say, what to talk about. This is just way more fluid for me, so I enjoy it. But yeah, I should have a playlist, Dark Gravity. I'm pretty sure it's under just Pocket Knife Review on my channel. I do sometimes forget to put stuff, to add a playlist to it, but I should have a pretty good playlist that probably lasts through the night. So yeah, I appreciate that. I do that for all my favorite channels. Literally, it takes me 30 minutes to go to sleep because I'm trying to figure out what channel to turn on before I hit mute and go to sleep and let it play all night. And for you guys that don't know that, that's not only getting your favorite channel's watch time, but because you're asleep, you're not skipping ads. So that YouTube channel is getting ad revenue because you didn't skip the ads. It's one of the most helpful things you can do for a YouTube channel. So, you don't have to do it for me, do it for whatever channel you want to. But I try to run in a rotation. I don't want to turn for, say, night before last was Javon's. I let his run all night. Well, I wouldn't want to do Javon's again at night because I just watched them. I don't know if the algorithm's going to pick that up. So, I'll jump over to Mattisfaction because he may have 6 or 7 video I hadn't seen yet, and I'll let his run all night. So I just kind of rotate through, all my friends' channels, and really, it's only 5 videos, Dark Gravity. I'll look into that, man. I didn't know that. I apologize. I guess I've not paid close enough attention to that, but I thought I had added them all to that playlist, but maybe not. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, Cole. That's very kind of you, man. It was awesome getting to meet Cole at Blade Show. I've got sometimes an offensive sense of humor, and and I love channels I can go to and say whatever I want, and know that people aren't getting their feelings hurt. And Cole's one of those people, and and I've kind of looked back at the past year or two. I'll just be completely upfront about this. There's been a couple of times Cole's just being Cole, and and say something, and me get pissed off about it. I've even been pissed off at Mattisfaction a little over a year ago. Who can get mad at that guy? It took a little while to realize that because I was unhappy, I was seeking reasons to be unhappy and reasons to be mad. So I'm really wanting to work on that. And just so you guys know, all of you have heard me. I constantly praise U.S. manufacturing in anything. I know we can't always buy U.S. made. My phone's not U.S. made. It's made in Taiwan. It makes me feel a little better, but I am going to start doing some foreign made knife reviews, and this is why. When I started my channel, my description was an honest opinion on modern pocket knives. And I feel like I can't be honest about modern pocket knives if I'm not reviewing all the good knives. And there are some great knives in China. Will I own them? Um, you know, we'll see what the future holds. I don't know as of right now. But if it's a good knife, I want to review it and give my opinion on it. So I'm going to try to back off on that some. I'm still going to shout patriotism till you guys are sick of hearing it. So, prepare yourselves for that. Johnny Casada, good to see you this morning, buddy. And look at there. There's my Bo Ian Coates. Be honest with you guys, I didn't know if anybody would show up for this. Like I said, I was going to do a quick video and end broadcast. That was going to be it. That was just going to kind of how I'm planning on making my content right now. So don't ever feel obligated. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You can watch it later because they're really just regular knife reviews for the most part. But anyway, So I'm hoping that this change brings me a little better physical health, some better mental health, a little more happiness. Maybe help me be a little nicer person. No, I still haven't forgiven Jake Hobat. Far from it. But I just want to call it like I see it, but I want to be fair. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. You guys know I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. Like I said, I apologize that it's short, but this is not a scheduled live broadcast. It's really just a video. I'm just enjoying making them this way, so I'm going to continue to do it unless you guys find it annoying and let me know so. So anyway, man, I love you dudes. I appreciate you. I appreciate you stopping by. If you hadn't already, hit the comment section. Let me know what your most carried knives was. I know a couple of you, or if you did get in there, I didn't see it. So anyway, yeah. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you again soon.